Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the Skyscraper game, and this is the second and final video that we'll be working on. So, in this video I would like to make the gameplay a bit more interesting, and also before we start I would just like to point one thing out, that the object that triggers if a house falls in and we get a debug log message saying that the player lost. When I was playtesting it, when a house falls in the middle and a house falls near it, it will just stay. But we want it to go down so the player can lose. So to fix that, I just scale down the platform so that it's possible for only one block to stay there, and if another one falls nearby, it will fall down. So now, when we play, our manipulator will just stay on one spot. Well, it won't move up, so we just have a limit to how much houses we can build. So let's fix that. Let's go to the robot controller script that we have made, and here what we want to add is in the void updater we want to add a new position dot y, because we want to reference the y-axis, and we want to add equal 0.01 load. So every frame for the y-axis, for the new position, we would add 0.01. Okay, so that means that the manipulator will always move up. Let's just check it. Let's go to game, and now if we wait for it to refresh, wait quite a long time. Okay, hit play, and now we should see that our manipulator moves up. Yeah, here. So we wanna also move the camera, and to do that we will go to our camera. Let's just close this off to keep space, and we will create a camera controller. Okay, let's create a camera controller. New script. Let's hit create and add. So now, when we wait for it to appear here, let's double click this to open this up in Visual Studio, and what we want to do is create a game object, and we'll call this manipulator. And what we want to do, let's just want public, so it is public. And now in the void start method, we'll make it a bit simpler by the void start method writing manipulator equals game object dot find. So we are gonna find the game object that we need, and we will find the manipulator. Make sure that the manipulator is spelled how you have wrote it here, because it should throw an error. Okay. So now in the void update, let's create a float, and we'll call it average y, and this will be equal to our manipulator dot transform dot position. want to use the y-axis, and we will divide this by 2. Then we want to write transform dot position, and this will be equal to a new vector 3, which will store 0, average y, and -10. Then we will write get component, and we will get the component camera and the camera, and we will get the orthographic. I have to spell this correctly. Orthographic size, and we will set this to average y. So here we create a public, we will create a script called camera controller, and then we create a game object manipulator that we cannot edit in the inspector. Then we say that the manipulator is the game object manipulator. So we find the game object called manipulator, and then in the void update we create a temporary variable called average y, and what this does is calculates the middle of the platform and the manipulator by the y-axis. Then transform the position new vector 3 and all of this stuff is that we say to the camera to get the position between the platform and the manipulator with the use of this code. And z is equal to -10 because the camera has to see the manipulator a little bit. And then the get component camera orthographic size equals average y is that we say to the camera to change the size of the camera depending on the transform of the manipulator. So when we save this, let's go back to Unity, and the camera now will just increase the size, so by the degrees. Here you can see it works, and here we could see house fell, and we got the message you lost. Okay, so that's 2 stuff done now. And now let's just change. Well, actually we will do this later, but with the game manager. Yeah, it's actually could be called the game manager, not the player lose. I don't know why I've written that. So that when we lose, we open the scene when we lose. Yeah. So now we will get some waiting time when we generate a new block, like 1 second, add some UI and game logic. So for people who don't know, coroutine is a function which may look kind of syntax wise, but it isn't. Mostly why I use it is just because you have in a normal function you cannot write a line of code that will say for the game to wait some time, like 1 second, but in a coroutine you can. Okay, so now let's go to our manipulator controller, I think, or robot controller. So now instead of instantiate home to spawn transform, let's just cut this out using Ctrl X, and let's write start coroutine, and we'll say generate new one. So now we should get an error. It's just because my computer is behaving a little bit weird. We do not have a coroutine that's called generate new one, so it should throw an error. But yeah, once again my computer is weird. So let's create a IE numerator called my god, I think I'll just copy this. Control copy, and it always happens. No, oh my god. So yeah, now just paste this in, generate new one, and now we have created a coroutine. And in here, what we want to do is write yield return new, wait 4 seconds, and we'll say our waiting time by 1. So yeah, don't ask me why this yield we write yield return new. I know why we write wait 4 seconds, because we wait for a nanoseconds. Anything else? Not up to me. So now let's just no, it's not here. So yeah, let's if transform. Yeah, we write again the if transform. If the transform dot child count is less than 2, less than 2, then we want to now instantiate our home to spawn body transform. Okay. So now if we save this, we should wait 1 second so before a new home spawns, and so that the player does not spam the blocks. Okay, let's wait. So I think this will be quite some time, so I'll just cut off the video. So see you guys there. Okay, so everything, well, Visual Studio is now responding. So now if we hit play, then before we start we wait 1 second, and then we drop the houses again. So yeah, and now let's just make our game a bit more interesting to play and to get a finish zone. So to do that, we will go to scenes, right click, and we will create a new scene, and we will call this our main menu. Save the changes, and now when we are in here, let's go UI, let's create a panel, yeah, something like this. Just increase change the background to none, and now let's just add 2 buttons. You of course can make it much more better, but for me, just to keep the tutorial short, I'm just gonna create 2 buttons. Okay, now I want to wait until Unity executes the menu item. And now let's just go to text and write play, and let's duplicate the button. Where is it? And this will be our quit button. Okay, so now in the canvas, let's create a script called main menu manager, and in there we do not want to use the start or update method. We will just create two methods, which will be a public public play game and we will create a public quit game. So let's start with the quit game. It's the easiest because we want to just quit the game, so we write application dot quit. Yeah, so now we have a quit game, and for the play game we have to be using Unity engine dot scene management. This will allow us to switch between scenes. So in the play game, let's just write scene manager dot load scene, and we could just say to load our scene 1 in the build index. We could tell our name, so game, or we could, well, I forgot how to do this, but I usually just write the build index, so 1. Now if we save this, go back to Unity, see, methods must have a return type. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry, knew something was wrong. Has to be a public void. Sorry, don't judge me, please. Okay, so let's just wait a bit of time. Okay, and the button should now, we want to reference the canvas and select our main manager script, and because this is the play button, you want to play the game. And for the quit button, you just want to do the same, reference our canvas, and sorry, that's my phone going off, and the quit game. But in the editor, the quit game won't work, but if we build this, it would. Okay, so now let's go to File, Build Settings. God, what's wrong? Build Settings, let's go to Scenes, and the main menu should be 0. Then I think, yeah, the game. What's wrong? The game will be the index 1. Let's just take away this scene. And now let's create a new scene, which we will just, oh yeah, this will be our lose game. I don't have any ideas on how to name it. And this, let's do the same. Let's create a canvas. Oh, a panel. Sorry, a panel. No background. And now let's just add a text saying that you lost. And I think we would do the same with these buttons. So this button go down, sync, quit, and let's just duplicate this, and this will be our play button. So just name this play, and because I want to keep things simple, I'll just add the same component, main menu manager, and in the button we just want to again reference our canvas. This is the quit game, so let's have the quit game, and the play button will have the play game. So we want to play again, play game. And now let's go to build settings and drag in our lose game. So this is our second scene. Now let's go to our game, save this, and select our game object where we have our play or lose. And in here, instead of writing you lost, we want to first be using Unity engine.scene management, and let's just write scene manager dot load scene 2. So let's go back to our game, and now I believe if we go to scenes and main menu, hit play. I know this looks ugly, don't judge me. If we hit quit, you want to quit the game. If we press play, we play our game. And if the house falls down, like these ones, we get the message you lost. Hit play, we hit quit, we play again. Done. So now what I would like to do is, well, probably add some UI displaying the score and all of this stuff, but I believe that the video is getting too long, so yeah, I think this will be another video. Don't judge me. So thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.